And welcome back to the Mass Effect Andromeda series. I am JediRedeyeX, guys, and this is our character build series that we're going through. And today we're bringing out the Asari Duelist. Again, one of my favorites. Oh, she is just devastating out on the battlefield. She's essentially your Vanguard ninja, space ninja, almost a Jedi sort of thing. And guys, we're going to go over my build that I have today. And with her, I only have her at rank 1. She is level 20, but I only have her at rank 1. I have not gotten any more cards of her. I think Mass Effect knows that I love to play this, and RN Jesus is just not being kind to me with those cards. She's not being very giving. So anyway, guys, without further ado, we're going to get into the build on her, and we're going to go over to our build section here and all our skills. Now, without her being min-maxed and rank 10, we got to make some sacrifices here. And with her, for this build, she basically revolves around charge and melee. She has that sword, which is just ridiculous. So we're going to start by going up to charge, and we are going to check this out, guys. Now, charge, damage, and force. You want to do as much damage to them as you can. As much damage as you can. Now, again, everybody's going to have different builds and what they like, and I've seen several different builds on her, but really for my playstyle and what I've found, she is so effective with this set. Now, the radius, if you want to hit more enemies, that's fine. I would rather kill the enemy that I'm going after as opposed to hurt multiple people as opposed to just killing outright one. Now, the damage and force is increased by 40%, or damage is 40, 35% on force. Radius, 3.5 meters, extra, 11 feet, 12 feet. It's okay, but again, really not crucial. I would prefer the damage and force. Now, with her, unlike most biotics, you're going to go straight down and do that damage and force and power. But on her specifically, you want that melee damage, because we're going to be building around the sword on this. It's charge, sword, shoot if you need to. And rarely do you ever need to. Usually it's just charge, melee, and they're done. So with the weapons and melee, it's going to give you that extra weapon damage if you need it, but it's also going to give you 30% melee damage, which is absolutely huge. And then we're going to get over into rank 6. Now, this one I've gotten a lot of flack from, and I've had debates on it. You can increase your recharge speed on Biotic Charge up to 75%. Now, this is ridiculous, and I have played with this. I have, guys. I've built her probably 6 or 7 times, trying out all the different stuff, seeing what I liked. I've tried Radius. I tried Power Synergy. Just not as effective as this build. Now, the 75% recharge speed, yes, is absolutely fantastic. However, I prefer to get my shields back all the way at this point. When you spec into Bastion on rank 6, because she is in your face, she's jumping into that mix. She's in your face. You are dancing around. You've got Backlash, to deflect anything from the front, but from the back, you get hit. You've got guys behind you. It's not like the Asari Adept where you have your annihilation field and you can wipe out 6 enemies in one blast. She is more a singular focused attacker. You're going in on one enemy to kill him, not to wound him, not to let him have some kind of picnic and say, oh hey, recover over there and stay with your buddies, get your shields back. No. This is to go in and just mess them up and smash them. Now with this, you get extra damage resistance. You get all your shields back, and you get an increase of 40% damage on your charge. You don't get that. You just get it faster. So yes, you can spam it faster, and you can charge and charge and charge and charge, but I would rather do one charge into somebody and kill them with the combo of charge, melee, shoot, or charge, melee, lance, however you're going to do it, as opposed to having to charge, dodge, charge to get them, to get them down and to drop them. And more of this melee stuff it's going to come into effect as we go down further into like our offensive biotics and all that. So, guys, I do prefer Bastion over Shock Trooper, but again, totally personal preference, and you don't have to take my word on it, guys. Everybody's playstyle is going to be a little different. If you like Shock Trooper better, throw it down in the comments. Explain why, what you've comboed with it to make it better. Now, guys, this build, this is for no perks, no boost, no nothing. This is just her going in to be a straight damager. Now, with Backlash, because I don't have her min-maxed, I haven't gotten this up too far. I did want it. I did want the recharge speed up on it a little bit more. Now, a lot of people, when it first came out, a lot of people were like, oh, whatever, with the shield, you don't need to use the shield. This shield is not just to hold in place, to keep a barrier in front of you. It is. But that's more when you're holding a position like an upload or a hack, or at extraction when you're in there in the last few seconds and you're being swarmed. You can throw that up to block everything that's coming in and kind of protect your team. Now, what I really like this for is to deflect shots. You got the observers. The observers in the Remnant are the one of the most frustrating things in the game, because once they lock on you, wherever, it doesn't matter where you dodge, how fast you run, where you go, the only thing you can do is get out of their direct line of sight. And if you have multiples on you, they're going to cut you down so quick. They burn through your shields with that laser, and then they just eat your health alive. And it's very, very, very frustrating, especially for a lot of the characters that don't have too much in the way of like a shield boost or anything. But with Backlash, you're going to deflect that shot back them right in their face. And I can't tell you how many times I've killed an observer with their own shot. It works against the nullifiers when they're lasering in on you, when they're taking a sight on you. Right before they shoot, right as they shoot, pop it up, and it'll deflect that blast right back into their face. This also works with the Ascendants. When they're inside their barrier and they're floating around and they're using that sniper shot on you, or when they use that big energy ball blast that comes flying in your direction, you don't need to dodge it. If they're getting ready to shoot that sniper shot at you, pop it up and it'll send it right back into their little sphere that you got to damage to take down their barrier. When they fire that big energy ball at you, you pop that thing up right as it's getting ready to hit you. It's almost like a deflect in sword fighting games, where as the attack's coming in, you kind of attack their blade and knock their blade out of the way. It works very, very, very similar like that. So what happens is that energy ball from the Ascendant charges up and it comes shooting at you right before it hits you. Throw your Backlash up and it'll rocket that right back at the Ascendant. And a lot of the times it's going to do more damage to the Ascendant than your weapons will, to its little sphere that you got to knock down before you can actually do damage to them. But also, if there are any other enemies running in the way of that, it's going to hit them. It's going to hit them as well. So I find this to be a brilliant, brilliant, brilliant tool. Absolutely love it. And once I get some more, I have built this all the way up to the final specs. But for right now, with the build that I've got with her and how I've got it set and sort of the play style that I've been going with her, I've only got it at rank 2. I don't really find a need to spec into it a ton. Where you're going to find that it's going to help you to spec into it more at this point is when you are holding it up for a long time. Because the longer you hold that shield up, the longer the recharge time is on it. But if you just pop it up to deflect something and drop it, it recharges almost instantly. Almost instantly. But if you hold it up until it breaks, well, then you've got to wait about 20 seconds. And it's pretty significant time on that long one. Now, when we get up over here, Durability. Durability for the first one, and then for the second one, the reflection. The reflection is going to knock back that projectile that's coming at you and do that much more damage to the enemy. The Ascendant Sphere, that Shotgun Blast, the Observer's Laser, whatever it is, it just, regular rifle fire, whatever it is. And wherever you aim your cursor, you put your reticle on that. If you want to, take down a specific enemy, when that shot's coming in, you just make sure you got your cursor on them, throw that up, and it'll deflect right into their face. And then for the final one, we have restored shields for over 3 seconds after releasing Backlash. Can get you about 50% of your shield strength back. This is pretty brilliant. And I do like this over the damage aftermath, but again, this is going to be a little this is going to be a little bit of a contender here, and this is going to be on your play style and how you're going to utilize Backlash. Now, for me, I use Backlash as just a quick deflect, like knocking a sword out of the way. It's like a parry almost for that incoming attack. And for the shield resilience, if I use the Backlash a lot when my shields go down. As that shot's coming in, you just literally throw it up, drop it, you got 50% shields back. When it recharges again, throw it up, drop it, now you have all your shields back. And you can do it almost that quick. Now, with the damage aftermath, this is where really your playstyle is going to come in, because you get 20% gun damage, 30% power damage, and 30% melee damage. So if you're just sitting there and you're backed into a corner, you got some observers, you got some guys, and you're just trying to survive that barrage, those extra damages come in great into play once the Backlash goes down. A lot of the time what I'll do is I will Backlash and I will dodge and banging that stuff out, and then throw a lance real quick into that guy's face as soon as it drops. So again, guys, that is your play style, but for me right now, without it being min-maxed, I can't bring Backlash up to our tier 6 powers. Now, Lance, again, Lance is this is also sort of in your play style. If you want to be a much more aggressive in your face, Lance is great. Now, for me, I just use it as a detonator. That's all I use it for, and sort of just a quick shotgun blast to your face while I'm waiting for recharge time on my charge. So for me, Lance, not really one of my favorite powers. It is very good. And again, we'll just go through it real quick. If you do want to spec into this, I like power and damage over radius. I just find it to be more effective. Then you have focus blast over your 35% damage versus shields. A lot of the time, guys, that headshot damage, weak point damage is going to be absolutely fantastic, especially with your heavy characters, your berserkers, your atlases, your destroyers, all those big guys. This is going to give you that little extra oomph for it. And again, knockdown versus shield cost. If you don't want that recharge time on it at the sacrifice of shields, again, you can go through and you can use the shield powered, and it will take 45% of your shields. Now, for me, that's not worth it. But if you are going to spec with Lance over Backlash, this is going to go and synergize great, absolutely fantastic with your charge ability. Now, if you take the Shock Trooper over, we're going to go back into charge for 1 second. If you take Shock Trooper over the Bastion, what you can do, because this only gives you it only gives you half of your shields back. That's all you get initially from charge. With Bastion, it kicks it up to getting all your shields back, but you have a faster recharge time. So now going back to Lance with this final spec, if you are going into you are going to pick why am I spacing on it now? if you Shock Trooper, all I could think of was Bastion. If you are going to pick Shock Trooper over Bastion, this is where this final perk in Lance is really going to come in handy, because you can use your shield, wham, charge. Use your shield, wham, charge, and get it back. So you can charge Lance, charge Lance, charge Lance almost indefinitely. But for me, I like the melee power of this girl over needing to use that biotic power. But again, this is just me. But I did want to show you this, guys, to give you some options for this build. Because again, she's an ultra rare. She's an N7. She's going to take forever to get these cards from. You know, unless you've got hundreds of dollars of real money to go buy Andromeda points with, you know, it's the luck of the draw. And I'll tell you, I just get junk out of the N7 packs more times than not. And I will have an entire buyer's guide coming up to go into all that as well. Now, moving on, guys, to the offensive biotics. This, because she's not min-maxed, this will be the next one that I finish off. However, right now, just so I could get that little bit of extra recharge speed, and because I couldn't use it anywhere else, because I couldn't get the final points I needed, I chose recharge speed on Backlash. So if I do run it out, it doesn't take, you know, forever for it to come back. Now, with this, guys, power enhancement. Because this right here, guys, is going to increase the damage of your biotic charge. Again, if you want to do all power recharge speeds, that is perfectly fine. Again, it's gonna be your play style. I prefer more power and force, damage and force, damage and force. Now here, with a lot of the biotics, you're gonna want all combo damage and all combo radiuses. But with her melee build, this is going to give you the extra 10% damage and 30% melee damage. So when you go in and you hit your biotic charge and you come out and you do a sword strike straight after that, you're getting extra 30% melee damage. Now, the final one. This is the one that I am waiting on, and it's driving me crazy that I haven't gotten another card, but I don't want to sacrifice the other stuff yet. Now, you can sacrifice any final tier for this, and if you are building this girl to primarily use the sword, you're not going to take the damage in biotic force like you would with almost any other biotic. You are going to take the biotic warrior. 50% melee damage, which means you can charge melee, and all your red bar enemies are going to be dead. A lot of your shielded enemies are going to be dead. The only guys that you're really not going to kill in one shot are your armored guys on gold. Or, well, now maybe even with the increase to the outlaws, I haven't put this into play yet. After the 1.06 update, I haven't done the play test and compared the numbers and you know, time to kill on this since the 1.06 update, and I may even respec her very soon just so I can get this in there, so I can get that extra damage just to try it out. Now, the reason I'm leaving it at that until I get her next card, until I get those extra points, is because I want them for saving barrier. And again, guys, like with all your biotics, you know, all your biotic characters, saving barrier for me, it's a no-brainer. It is an absolute no-brainer. Keeps you alive when you get down to low health and lose shields. Now, again, as I stated in other biotic videos, like on the Asari Adept, I prefer more shields. I prefer more shields because the more you have, the harder it is you are to take down. I would rather have more shields initially than have shields that come back faster. You know, because if you're in cover and you're hiding and you're waiting for shields to come back, you're not doing damage to these enemies. And she is a face trader. You are in there. You are in the mix. You are in close combat you've got melees, you've got your biotic charge, you've got your shields coming back automatically from your biotic charge. So you don't need faster. You just need more. Now, your biotic, this one here, guys, with most biotics, you may go with the biotic elasticity, sorry. Because it is going to help you. But with her specifically being the melee build, with her and the other vanguards, 50% melee damage. Now, you can imagine, add this 50% back with your offensive biotics, final tier biotic warrior 50%, that's 100% extra melee damage right there. Absolutely devastating. And then for my final tier, saving barrier. Keeps you alive when your health gets down to right around a quarter. You know, it's at 20%. When you get down there just under a quarter health, bang, snaps your barrier right back up every 15 seconds. And I have played with this since the 1.6, and the 10 seconds really, you know, if you're a savvy player, as long as you're just not in there just running in without any kind of tactics, any kind of idea what you're fighting, 15 seconds is no problem over the old 10 seconds. So guys, I hope you enjoyed it, guys. This is my powers for her with a non-min-max build. Now, once I have her maxed to level, when I have her up at rank 10, I will have Backlash maxed, and offensive biotics will be maxed. Lance will stay exactly where it is in the first position. Now, I know that a lot of people really love Lance as a great power, and it is. I'm not knocking it as a great power, but for this build and the way that I play and how in-your-face sword battle that I'm laying down with her, I'm going to keep Lance as my 1-star. And then, guys, we're going to quickly just move over to our weapons real fast. All I bring with her is the Talon. And, oh, I don't know why that switched to Juggernaut Shield. Everything got switched around after the 1.6. I had to go back through. I used the Adaptive War Amp on her. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe I did switch it. Hold on. Let me look at this real quick. Oh, yeah, it's the melee damage. I did. This gives you extra shields and 75% melee damage. So, for her, I did have the Adaptive War Amp on her, which gives you a 30% damage dealt by biotic powers, which is great for the shields and all that. But for her, she's the only biotic that I will bring the Juggernaut Shield with. Possibly the Human Vanguard on my alternate build. But right now, I am totally rocking the Adaptive War Amp on my Human Vanguard. But with this, guys, all I'm using is the Talon. If you do need to shoot, it's right there. It is a devastating weapon. Does some horrific damage up close. And I do have the melee mod on it. Right here, we'll go in, and the pistol melee mod, damage. So in combination with all this stuff from all the melee damage, she's basically a space ninja. She is a space ninja, and I absolutely love her. One of my favorite characters in the game. And if you are going to play her, guys, there's no real way to build this girl other than around the sword. I mean, she's the only one that's got it. It's just absolutely useless to not spec into that. You've got the Human Vanguards. You've got the Krogan Vanguard. You know, you can spec them any way you want. But if you want an absolutely devastating Asari Duelist, try this build out, guys, with Charge, your Barrier, Offensive Biotics, and Backlash, bringing up the rear there. Not as being bad in any way. Just you don't get the points to spec into it until you rank those cards up. So, guys, this is a nice level 1 build, or a rank 1 build. But she is at level 20, so she is maxed out as far as level. But those rank cards really, truly help immensely. One of my buddies has her min-maxed. I don't know how he did it. I must have sold his soul to Satan or to RNGesus. I don't know. But anyway, he has got an absolutely devastating version, and I have been waiting and waiting and waiting and trying to get more cards, and they've given me all the others, not hers. But anyway, guys, if you liked this video, please smash that like button. Feel free to leave comments, guys. Anything, ideas on your builds, how you do it, what you like, and why. I love getting all that feedback, guys. And if you are enjoying it, guys, please subscribe to the channel because it does help us out a ton, and it will keep you updated on when we post out new videos. There will be a whole lot more Mass Effect Andromeda videos coming out in the near future. And as always, guys, I am JediRedeeye, and I will see you on the back.